Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our quick LinkedIn Live demo. My name's Dan Hellmann. I'm the Chief Sales Officer here with Tabi Connect, joined by Scott Hadley. He's head of our partnerships and overall product strategy. We are going to keep this quick. Everybody's busy. So what we want to do, and we're going to show you, is our whole brand new Tabi platform. You've probably seen a lot of buzz throughout LinkedIn. We just released a new brand, new logo. And that's kind of to correspond in honor of our new platform, our new rate management system. So we're going to provide a high-level overview, what's all there. And then we're also going to be doing mini demos each week, 4 in total. How we're going to do this is we're going to pinpoint little aspects of our platform. We will send all the attendees a direct message with the links to register. We're not going to be spamming you or emailing you. It's just one time, join, see what you want to see. Those mini demos are going to be like maybe 10, 15 minutes long. Today, we should get through this in 15, 20 minutes. We move quickly. I do encourage everybody, if you have comments, you have questions, fire them off and we'll answer all the ones we can. So first, I'm going to give a quick overview of what the flow is, what rate automation is. And then Scott's going to take it over of how Tabi has changed. And then we'll start opening up the platform and showing you. So with rating automation, there's a lot of unknowns out there. And what Tabi does, it is going to exactly mimic the steps that your human team is doing right now. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our quick LinkedIn Live demo. My name's Dan Hellmann. I'm the Chief Sales Officer here with Tabi Connect, joined by Scott Hadley. He's head of our partnerships and overall product strategy. We are going to keep this quick. Everybody's busy. So what we want to do, and we're going to show you, is our whole brand new Tabi platform. You've probably seen a lot of buzz throughout LinkedIn. We just released a new brand, new logo, and that's kind of to correspond in honor of our new platform, our new rate management system. So we're going to provide a high-level overview, what's all there. And then we're also going to be doing mini demos each week, 4 in total. How we're going to do this is we're going to pinpoint little aspects of our platform. We will send all the attendees a direct message with the links to register. We're not going to be spamming you or emailing you. It's just one time, join, see what you want to see. Those mini demos are going to be like maybe 10, 15 minutes long. Today, we should get through this in 15, 20 minutes. We move quickly. I do encourage everybody, if you have comments, you have questions, fire them off and we'll answer all the ones we can. So first, I'm going to give a quick overview of what the flow is, what rate automation is. And then Scott's going to take it over of how Tabi has changed. And then we'll start opening up the platform and showing you. So with rating automation, there's a lot of unknowns out there. And what Tabi does, it is going to exactly mimic the steps that your human team is doing right now. So think about it this way. Both Scott and I used to be brokers. When your team receives a rate request, they read the email, they go to the rate engine, maybe several rate engines, look at your historical data and think about what they're going to pay a truck. And then they start adding on things on top, how much money they want to make, some extra costs. They're going to this receiver, it's a pain in the butt. I need an extra $300 for that. Or the transit time's funky, or it's multi-stops. All those extra truck costs, they start calculating on top of it. And they get that final rate and either email it back to their customer or they log into that platform, whatever it is, the shipper TMS, and put in that bill amount. Tabi Connect is doing that exact same thing. It's reading those quote requests, going to the rate engines you're already using, even your historical data, pull back expected truck rate, and starts layering on your margin, those extra costs that you want to do. And then we'll submit that rate back. The big difference is that it can go as fast as 3 seconds. Can take up a little bit longer depending on platforms, but as fast as 3 seconds. And it's going to be capturing all these different data points. Historically, it's been pretty much impossible for brokerages to log all the quotes they were giving. It's way too many, way too manual. And so Tabi's going to do this for you. It's going to track win-loss percentages, all those good analytics that you can now really dive into. So it's allowing your people to quote more because they're going to put their knowledge, all the experience they have into these logic trees to mimic the same steps that they would do. Scott, kick it to you if you want to touch base on kind of how Tabi's changed, why the new brand, why the new platform, and what people can expect.
Yeah, I think so. When we started down the whole focusing on rate quoting with Tabi, at first it was, really automated rate quoting. And then coming from the brokerage world, we understand customers have very different ways of sending you quote requests, emails, text messages, phone calls. They want to log in and pull a rate themselves. Some like those portals. And then, of course, that API, the real-time rating, dynamic pricing, on demand, all the different names for it today, but that API rating. And so when we're building out Tabi Connect, we always knew it wasn't just going to be automated rate quoting. We wanted all of those channels flowing through Tabi Connect so that our customers can really capture their full opportunity in that book of business that they truly have. It's not just automating platforms. That's great, but that's a percentage of the true opportunity you have. So we have evolved Tabi Connect. It's not just automated rate quoting. It's now that omni-channel. It's all flowing through from Tabi email, from an internal quoting portal. Customer calls, what's this rate? Boom, human can log in and get that API rating capability. From the external portals, customer wants to pull their rates, not make those phone calls or emails. We can enable you to do that. And so we're bringing all that in, RFPs, contracts, all that is coming in to create the rate management system that Tabi is today. And going beyond automated rate quoting, it's analytics, it's data, it's seeing true opportunity, what you're missing, actionable, direct your people. And we're going to start getting into that here as we show the platform. And then, as Dan mentioned, we'll deep dive into each of these features later on those weekly quick demos.
So while Scott's pulling up that platform, the value that brokerages receive when automating rate quoting and utilizing a rate management system, there's a couple different ones. First is that you're going to respond and quote a lot more shipments than you ever would before. So historically, we have access to a lot of cool data with these platforms, and this is a crazy fact, and a lot of people don't believe it. But historically, brokerages only respond to 7 to 10% of spot quotes. That's it. And I know people are right now denying me that are listening to this, but it is true. The data doesn't lie. Our customers on average respond to 68%. So you quote more, you're typically going to win more freight. Now that 32%, it's not lost. They put rules in place to not respond to it. So you're quoting more. You also can quote faster. So think about what happens when you respond to a quote request in a platform. You go to log in, you want to enter in your $1,200, and somebody already quoted $1,200, and you can now not bid unless you undercut them. Well, speed matters. Sometimes it's not the best rate who quotes the fastest. So you're going to quote faster than the competition. But then even more importantly, it's the data, the analytics, which Scott's going to click through our dashboard. This dashboard will be one of our mini demos where we'll do a deeper dive down the road. But if you're not automating the process, you cannot capture that data. So Scott, I'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, so I'm going to show real quick one of examples, real life use case here. I'm going to go on to exceptions. I'm a believer that in order to grow your business, step one is really seizing the opportunity that's already in front of you. It's already there, but the problem is we don't know where it is or why we're not capturing that opportunity. So by automating and from all these channels, you can now actually see this. So if I go to exceptions and then let's just say top 10 here, I now can drill into what opportunities flowing through my Tabi Connect for me, but I'm not quoting. So I'm not even putting in the chance of winning this. Why is that? We can see it broken down. We can see where. We can dive into the specific lanes. This now gives that actionable data for you to say, hey, carrier sales team, go be true carrier sales, not a call center taking inbound calls on freight we have booked. Go be carrier salespeople. We have 118 on this lane that we have not captured. We need carriers for this Missouri to South Carolina lane. Get after it, go get them. So this gives you that actionable data to now start capturing even more opportunity that you have. You just don't know you have it.
100%. It's a good way to give direction to just the overall initiative your company wants to do. I've said this a lot before, customer demand is not load count that you've moved. Customer demand is the quote requests coming in. And so now you can actually visualize that. And I'm going to touch upon another data point that one of our customers just used last week and was telling us about. And so it's over in the quotes award, and then we'll go back to the top 10 awarded. So how they're using this single data point is they're tracking what are all the quotes they provided and what that they're winning. And so they can now see that, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Shipper, you have thrown this one lane on your spot board 75 times. I've won 37 of them. Why don't we talk about me, taking over as a contracted lane? So you can start seeing where you can pinpoint on how to direct your conversations with your customer to convert spot freight to contracted freight, so you don't have to keep bidding on it every single day. So I want to bring this one point up because one of our customers reached out that they just did this and converted a spot lane to a contracted lane. That's going to be an extra about 5 loads a week for them, which in this soft market, every load counts. Every quote request counts, and you need to respond to these and capture and be aggressive as much as you possibly can. So there is a lot of data here, a lot of reports, a lot of drilling in. Now, like I said, we're going to cover that deeper in the mini demos down the road, but just want to give an insight of all different things that you could possibly do. So next, Scott's going to go into our admin features and what that all is.
Yeah, I'll give the disclaimer. These are demo numbers, this data. So obviously awarded and quoted, ignore that. These aren't real numbers. Admin. This is one of my favorite big upgrades to Tabi Connect is this admin section. It is now very easy for our users. Extremely easy. Go in, add a new shipper. They can create that shipper profile, build that out to the specs they need, and boom, off and running. There's no going to our service desk. There's no coming to us and asking, hey, I need to get this going. Can you create this profile? Here's the rules. Again, we're going to dive into admin's going to be a whole nother deep dive for this where we'll get into the details. But customers, adding new users. So when you need to add somebody new to the team, or hey, this team is now utilizing rate quoting, they're going to be on Tabi Connect. The admin of your company can come in and add users very easily and then assign them to roles. Roles are permission sets. And so you can have all these different roles, as many as you need built out. It's going to be based on your teams, based on how management handles it, based on how many what shippers you have on here and who has access to edit and view. So these are the permission sets that you assign users to. And so there's a lot more in here, control for our users, more self-service, quick to the point, no waiting for anything or going through service desk to get changes made. So admin section is one of my favorite upgrades that we put into this new Tabi Connect.
Yeah. It's nice. You can add lots of different layers, of what you want people to see, what they can't see, the permissions. Do you want it? We have MFA built in. Do you want MFA for your users or do you not? So all that is customizable. You can control all of that yourself. Now, jumping on to another aspect, it's our parameter sets. And so if you remember back at the beginning, I kind of talked about the flow of quoting, the human going to the rate engine, doing all that math in their head and spitting out the rate. And that's what Tabi's doing. We do that through our parameter sets. Parameter sets is that the quoting logic. In total, we have 49 different parameters. Parameters of those dials. What do you want to quote? And so we pretty much captured everything that could go through a broker's mind on what they might want to charge or what they would do to quote out a customer. I like to break these parameters into 3 separate buckets. Bucket 1, how much money do you want to make? And so whether it's by length of haul, by bill amount, all that's customizable. You can upcharge by a dollar amount or percent. Bucket 2 is increased truck costs. So what is going to be more expensive, that's not reflected in the rate engine you use, that the truck's going to ask more money. Maybe it's because it's a -20 load versus -10. Ice cream versus frozen French fries, very different. Or it picks up on the weekends, or the transit time's funky, multi-drops, all those different things. Bucket 3 is, what do you want to quote? What do you not want to quote? So is there a certain exact lane, a city or state or 3-digit zip that, hey, I don't want to quote that for my shipper because I know it's a pain in the butt. It doesn't work for me. Or maybe I want to quote it and I need to add a little more money. I know this receiver is a pain in the butt to deal with. I know it's a nighttime receiver, even though the customer doesn't tell me. So I need to capture that information there. So all of those are customizable. And these parameter sets are very easy to use. To change the logic, you enter in the fields, click save, and boom, you're done. You can change the logic from your phone if you want to. So very, very dynamic. And this will also be a deeper dive, a mini demo, but we just want to kind of give that overview. You can create a parameter set for every single customer you have, because you're going to quote them all differently. And you can even drill down like customer, let's say shipper A, van parameter set, shipper A, reefer parameter set. So all of that can be customizable and duplicated. You could see how the changes you make to your quoting logic affect your win-loss percentages and your overall expected margin.
Yeah, so my biggest thing to add to that is just parameters. We didn't do this massive overhaul to parameters. It's working for our customers today. If it's not broke, don't fix it. What we upgraded massively in the parameters is, again, that user experience. So I mentioned that in the admin. We're trying to bring that user experience much greater to our users there. And now in parameters, we brought that in as well. You'll see it in the deep dive, but we already are getting the comments about how great the experience is now, and really pulling together some of those customized business rules and all that happens, and pulling that into the platform to allow to, again, on the fly, make your changes necessary for your business. So the user experience and customizing, quote unquote, to your business within the platform is next level within this version of Tabi Connect.
The next feature we're going to show real quick, and this will also be a deeper dive into a mini demo, is the internal quoting portal. So Tabi has moved, as Scott mentioned, from automated rate quoting to rate management system. You cannot have a rate management system and dive into those analytics unless you can capture 100% of every single rate request hitting your company. Spot boards, bid boards is not 100%. You have other aspects. You have email quote requests where the shipper's like, hey, got another chicken load, what's your rate? Those. What about when a shipper calls in over the phone? What about when I was back at a broker, I'm out at happy hour and I get an email from a customer or a text from a customer, hey, what's your rate on this lane next week? When I'm out having a beer with my buddies, probably other brokers, what would I do? I would try and log in to a rate engine, or I would think about what it was, may ask my buddy, hey, what's the rate from Jacksonville to Indy? Do you know what it is? And I would just fire off something. Well, that's data you're not capturing. And that's relatively an uneducated decision. So we've created this internal portal. Scott, if you want to go ahead and pull it up.
I'm trying. It won't come on the screen for StreamYard. It says I'm sharing.
Oh, there you go. Here it comes. Where your team can access this, all they have to enter is, city, state, the OD pair, equipment type, and which customer parameter set it wants to hit. And it'll pull a rate live out. And so when they hit that, get rate button, it's going to API connect to the rate engine you're using, run through that logic tree to tell them the exact rate they should quote based on the logic they put in. But then even more importantly, capturing that data. And what's the beauty about this is you don't need to do this on your computer. You can do it from your phone. So when you're shopping with your kids or you're having a beer with buddies, you need to do a rate, pull up your phone, type it in. It's going to be accurate. You know it's going to be live. It's going to hit every those different nuances you have, and you know you're going to log that data point to analyze in the future. Now, within this, which Scott, if you want to actually pull up real quick the email piece, well, we're not going to run through that full demo because it's going to be a mini demo with this internal portal. We actually see it all working. We have embedded Tabi directly into your Outlook inbox, so as a plugin. And so what this is doing, it's going to show the look and feel of it if StreamYard starts working for them to share the screen. It's going to read those free-form text emails where the shipper says, got another chicken load, Biloxi to Jacksonville, whatever it is. Grab the information, API connect your rate engines, run through the parameter set, and can respond automatically. So you're now speeding up the quoting process for your brokers. So instead of taking a few minutes, it takes a few seconds. But now, once again, capturing that data. Anything else to add on that one? I kind of just ran.
No, I was more focused on when's this going to load onto StreamYard here. So no, email's straightforward. It's an enablement into Tabi Connect. Tabi email is not the product. Tabi email is a feature of the products. It's the enablement into Tabi Connect where, again, your logic, your experience, all that is. And it's capturing all that data to be able to use as well. So it's an enablement piece that is an extremely nice feature to have.
Yep. We often get asked, what are some of our value props? What are some successes we have? And, our belief is that automation should not be hard. Automation should not take a team of internal developers or a lot of IT lift from your team. The way we built our platform, there's zero IT lift. There's very little workload on it. We handle all that. And so it allows us to move very quickly. So one of our customers, Ryan Transportation, from the moment they said, yes, let's do this, we got 25 shippers up and running automated across 6 different platforms, so websites or TMSs, in 4 weeks. We got 33 up in 8 weeks. And now they have over 60 automated right now. But the beauty of this also is that when you're up and running, there's not a lot of lift, and it's allowing your humans to quote a lot more, do a lot more. So they have internally, they're automating 60 shippers. So, they're managing logic and responding to all the quotes. One person is doing this, spending less than 1 hour a day. So one person, about 45 minutes a day, is responding and changing the logic, managing analytics for over 60 high volume shippers where they're pumping out tens of thousands of quotes a day, one single person. So that's the idea of automation. It's not to eliminate the human out of it. It's not to eliminate the knowledge that all these brokers have, because you need that. It's just capturing it so you can do a lot more. Another question I get asked a lot is, what's your win-loss percentages? Which I will be the first to say, we cannot guarantee you win more freight. We cannot guarantee you win more revenue. We can guarantee you're going to quote everything you want to, not quote the things you don't, and log every request. If you're quoting for $2,000 margins, you're not going to win anything. Bad data in, it's bad data out. But if you're following the same process that you're quoting now, your win rates, we typically will increase. You will win more loads if you're following that same process. So a couple of examples that we have seen. One of our customers is automating one of their shippers. Pre-automation, averaging 20 loads a week. Post-automation, averaging 300 loads a week. We have Gilson. They increased their load count by 570%, revenue by 665%. Now, I know what everyone's thinking. I hear this all the time on every single call I have, or every LinkedIn post I make is, well, great, they're winning loads, but are they making money? If they weren't making money, they would stop automating it. If they weren't making money, they would change their logic to increase their margin, which theoretically might decrease their load rate. So if they're not making money, they're going to stop doing it. They have those dynamic controls. A couple of examples, LTI, getting away from the percentages. Sometimes I hate giving percentages because it'd be deceiving. It's like, great, but what was the baseline number? But if you increase by 570%, even if it's one load, that's significant growth. Is, on a smaller end, that's maybe not as triple digit growth. LTI, they went from 15 loads a month to 57 loads a month. So significant ROI that can be captured, but it's going to vary by your success rate. I feel confident saying you're going to have success. What is success? It could be a little bit of growth or a whole lot of growth. Depends on your logic, how you use the analytics, and how you grow it. But it's there. Just responding to more will significantly help.
Yeah, I like those examples. 15 to 57. It's like, oh, it's a smaller number, but there's still so much ROI in there than 20 to 300. So still, both examples, there's a ton of ROI to keep growing. And you show the ends of the spectrum there. All right, cool. So to wrap it up.
Hey, real quick before you wrap up, Scott, I think we have a couple of questions that came over in the comments. I don't know if you can see it on your side since you're having some issues. So we had one, which first, no problem joining late, Robin and Danielle. So how are we connecting to the customer portals to identify shipments we want to bid on? It's a variety of information. It's a variety of ways. So one, we either API connect directly, or if there aren't APIs available, we utilize RPA. Sometimes we utilize both because it sounds like simple, like an API is an API. That's not the case. There's a lot of limitations with each platform. Some platforms you can't enter in the fields that your shipper wants to, or where they want their field, or you can't do a detailed offer. So we utilize both. We build it out to make sure the process is completed, no matter how your shipper wants it, so they see nothing different on your end. And that allows us, we do this so much, that allows us to scale up really quickly. The common question we get is like, how quickly can it turn on? So I already mentioned the Ryan Trans, where he went live with 25 shippers on 6 different platforms in 4 weeks. Some platforms, it's going to take us 5 days. Another platform, we can have you live in 30 minutes. So it really does depend. Even though we are SaaS-based, platform-based, especially with our larger clients, there's a lot of customization that still kind of goes into it to fulfill those needs. We can interact with those platforms, but also there's a lot of variances because a lot of times shippers don't use their platforms, quote unquote, correctly. And so we fit that.
Yeah, I'm going to follow that up real quick and use this opportunity, shameless plug, since I deal with partnerships. We have exclusive partnerships with both E2 Open and Blue Yonder, where we can actually bring you discounts for those connections as well to their APIs to connect to the shippers. So that fits in there. If you're on the fence, come ask us about it. We can bring those discounts and then make that process significantly easier for you.
And one more follow-up question. How often are you looking for available shipments? Do you work with the customers directly? I can't read and talk today. So how often are we looking for available shipments? We have built our product very differently than how other people might develop their automations or other automation providers. What we've seen is there are some products out there where they schedule them. Hey, go to this platform, quote out everything for 30 minutes. Then go to the next platform, quote everything for 30 minutes. In our eyes, that's not the best way to build it because 30 minutes is a long time, but things time out. Maybe they only pop up there for 5-10 minutes, the shipper pulls them down. Or that's just not a time, it's just timing, it just times out. And you want to respond to every request that you can that fits within your logic. So we built ours to respond directly to each request. That's where we get a higher response rate. So we use a lot more automation behind the scenes to be more, to respond at a much quicker pace. So there is no scheduling with ours.
Yeah, good answer. I got no follow-up to that without getting more technical, which we don't want to do. So.
Right. So I think that might be one last question. So go ahead and pick us up, wrap us up, Scott. We went a little longer than the 20 minutes we're shooting for, but still quick.
It's all right. 30 is fine. Cool. Yeah. So new Tabi. The biggest takeaway from our new Tabi platform here, Tabi Connect, is really that user experience. We wanted to enhance that significantly. We've accomplished that, and very excited about it. Helps you all grow, brings faster ROI, and we're all happy and grow together. So the new Tabi Connect, again, we're going to send out a message, as Dan mentioned, with the registration links for these deep dives into each piece of it. Today was an overview. We're going to do deep dives into these. So you can register to what you want to. We're not going to bombard you with 30 different emails and messages. It's going to be a message. Here's the upcoming, register as you want, and then really get that true feel of Tabi Connect today. So.
Yeah. And what's good, those will be pretty quick. We'll keep them to 10, 15 minutes. You know, people are busy.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. And we're excited. I think you could see the buzz the last week and a half. It's true. It's real. This isn't a facade we're putting on. We're excited. Our customers are excited. Ready to keep going, pushing forward.
And if anyone has any questions in the meantime, you know, don't hesitate to reach out, myself or Scott. Shoot us a DM on LinkedIn or any of our team. You can schedule a call, or just, even if it's just a quick LinkedIn message of another question pops in your head. We're always helping to answer them. We're not going to hound you. We want to do these LinkedIn live demos. One, we got nothing to hide. We want to show off our products. We also want to connect people with our customers, you know, give you a list of who they all are, and just kind of make it a low friction point. So thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.